You're listening to the PRO Media Network, the next level in entertainment.
How about a poster? Anthony Davis is on fire.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican postgame report on the PRO Media Network. I'm Big Q chiming with you on podcast 309. That's right, 309 on the Pelican postgame report. And in this episode, we're going to be recapping. Got a few to recap. It's been a few games. But we'll get it all covered with stats, facts, breakdowns, interviews with the coach, telling us what's going on with the team. And we'll recap all of the games. The loss to the T-Wolves, the win over the Clippers, and the loss to Golden State Warriors, and the preview of the Trailblazers. But before we get into that, let's give you a round of applause. New and established subscribers and listeners of the show, thank you for joining us today on the Pelican Postgame Report. Remember, subscribe and hit the notification bell, and also share with other Pelican fandom out there. We don't care if you share it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Reddit, wherever you socialize. Make sure you bring the Pelican Postgame Report with you. With that said, the Pelicans on this tough string of games going on here. Very tough string of games for the Pelicans. And they did put together a 3-game winning streak before they headed out to a tough West Coast swing. We knew it wasn't going to be easy for the Pelicans. No doubt about it. They started off by losing to the Timberwolves 110-106, in which a game where Big Cat just went off. It was some suspect calls in that game, by the way. You got to give it to Big Cat. Big Cat played a hell of a game in that one. Getting right into it, Pelicans fall 110-106. And this is the breakdown. Karl-Anthony Towns, he finished with 27 rebounds and set a new career high, as well as the Pelicans' opponent franchise record. New Orleans was 5 of 25 for 200% from the three-point line when they not fall and stop shooting them. You know, that kind of thing. The Pelicans committed 13 of their 17 turnovers before halftime. Once again, undisciplined. Undisciplined. You can't play that way against good teams. And the Timberwolves might not be contenders, but they're a very good team. With the game tied at 35, Minnesota went on a 16-4 run to take a 51-39 lead, which was the largest of the game. And there were 3 minutes remaining in the first half. New Orleans answered with their own run of a 13-3 run to cut the deficit to 2 points at half. So they were the Pelicans. You can never say they don't play with heart. If you say that, somebody have to slap you in the mouth for saying that stuff, because you'll never hear me say they don't play with heart. They play with heart. They just shoot themselves in the foot all the time. With the game tied at 103 with less than 4 minutes remaining in regulation, Minnesota scored 5 unanswered points to take a 108-103 lead with about 2.5 minutes remaining. Then Drew Holiday, he had a 3-point play with about 2:23 left that cut the Timberwolves' lead down to just 2. Then the Pelicans, they weren't able to score over the final 2 minutes of the game. They were 7 of 22 from the field in the final frame and 0 from 8 from deep. The second half, they had 12 lead changes and 14 ties. When you have a game like that, you have to look at things to yourself and say, well, you know, we're going to have to be careful here, because we're playing this team, and this team is a very dangerous team, and we have to watch out for, you know, what they're willing to do. The Timberwolves wanted this game more than the Pelicans. They didn't turn the ball over as haphazardly as the Pelicans did, even though they lost the game just by 4 points. But when you think about it, you have to take in consideration that the Pelicans, you haven't arrived until you start playing more discipline. And it's strange to me, because when I was watching the Golden State Warriors game, and I'm going to make mention of it again when we get to the preview and the breakdown of the game momentarily, is the fact that you heard Mark Jackson, how he was speaking about the schemes. What kind of scheme are they running? You know, what kind of schemes are this? And Mark, it's crazy, man. But Mark Jackson, he couldn't survive a full season of watching Pelican-style basketball, man. It is not a pretty sight. Despite the fact the box score indicates that the Pelicans, Andy Davis once again, put up 30 points and 14 rebounds in the game in 36 minutes of action. Julius Randle was strong again with 22 and 11. At 34, Alfred Payton had 10.6 assists. Drew Holiday finished with 25 points. Etwan Moore played 31 minutes and 1 of 6 from downtown. 1 of 6 from the field, 0 for 3 from downtown for 2 stinking, measly, rotten points. It just didn't make any sense. Nikolai Mirotic struggled too. He was 3 of 8 from the field, 1 of 6 from downtown for 9 points and 6 rebounds in 27 minutes. Darius Miller was what Darius Miller usually is. He gave him 19 minutes. Darius Miller was 2 for 5 from the field, gave you 4 points. Up and down, man. Jahlil Okafor didn't play that much, only 4 minutes. That's what happened with Alvin Gentry. When Nikolai Mirotic and those guys, he just benched Jahlil Okafor, only gave him 4 minutes. Frank Jackson, however, played 15 minutes and returned the favor by giving him 4 points, and nobody else off the bench helped out. And that's the story. 17 stinking rotten points off the bench in a close game against a team. It won't happen, especially when their bench produced over 28 points. You know, it's just ridiculous. Almost 40 points scored off the bench for the Timberwolves versus 17 stinking rotten points off the Pelicans bench. That is one of the main things. And, of course, Etwan Moore's horrible ridiculousness in this loss. So the Pelicans fall in that game. They should have had that game. That's another game that they should have had. They're going to look back and say, we should have won that game. Fast forward and move on to the Clippers game. Pelicans face off against the Clippers in the Staples Center. Away game 2 of the West Coast swing. Pelicans were able to get this win. This was a pretty good game. 121 to 117. They battled in it, and they refused to go down and lose again, trying to show themselves that they can win on the road. You can win on the road. Hit your free throws and don't turn the damn ball over and play your game. You can win. Well, LA finished the game 500 from deep, connecting 18 of 36 shots from the three-point range. New Orleans committed just 7 turnovers on the night and just 4 through the first 3 quarters. Andy Davis went off. He scored 42 of his 46 points in the final 3 quarters of play. He holding a 3-point lead heading to the second half. New Orleans opened the third quarter on a 26-9 run to take a 97 to 72 lead, which is the largest of the game. With 5:26 remaining, the Clippers responded by closing the quarter on a 6-2 run to cut the deficit to 6 points, 94 to 88, heading into the fourth quarter. And the LA reclaimed the lead briefly at the 7:47 mark, taking 100 to 100 edge. However, the Pelicans answered with a 15-5 run to push their lead back to 9, 115 to 106 with 4:20 remaining, and was able to hold the Clippers at the free throw line. Now, the win snaps a 10-game road losing streak against Western Conference opponents and is the first win against a conference opponent on the road since the season opener at Houston. That was back in October 17th when they beat the Houston Rockets. So that showed the Pelicans really struggling with this here road thing, man, in a major capacity. But lo and behold, they were able to take it to the Clippers and get it. Now, the Clippers, even though they're not world beaters, they're still a pretty decent club when you think about it. They started the season off, and they have good coaching with Doc Rivers. Most of their players are remaining healthy, so they're playing competitive. We don't expect the Clippers, to, of course, to represent anybody in the Western Conference Finals or the playoffs for that matter. But the Pelicans did what they were supposed to do, beat a team that they're supposed to be better than. And ultimately what it did is it kind of etched the Pelicans close to that 500 mark is what they're looking to do, because you have this tough road swing when you're going out to the West Coast. You're going to have to at least, at worst, split. Now, Anthony Davis finished in this game, according to the box indicators, which Anthony Davis had 46 points in this game. 46 points. So, like I said before in previous shows, Anthony Davis has to score 45, 46 points to get the Pelicans a chance to win every night. And he scored 46 points, 4 points off of 50, and they still only won by 4. This man scored almost 50 points, and he just only beat the Clippers by 4 points. 27 points by Julius Randle in the matchup, 6 rebounds. Alfred Payton finished with 11.6 rebounds. Drew Holiday had 19 and 8 assists. E'Twaun Moore, back-to-back games, he stunk again. 3 points on 1 of 4 shooting from the field, 1 or 2 from downtown in 29 minutes of action. E'Twaun Moore, smallish E'Twaun Moore that don't even belong in the starting lineup. But L. Gentry continues to insert this 6'3", 6'4" shooting guard into the role as a small forward when he has 2 small forwards on the bench, actually 3 of them, that are at least 6'7" or above. Solomon Hill is 6'7", Wesley Johnson is 6'8", and Darius Miller is 6'8". Why are you playing this smallish E'Twaun Moore at the small forward position again? It's the stupidity of the dumbest moves that this guy makes, which is ultimately costing us these competitions because it puts him in a competitive disadvantage as far as the defense is concerned. And it will only work if E'Twaun Moore is hotter than these other guys. Darius Miller could give better stats than what he did. Matter of fact, he did. He had 6 points in 29 minutes of action. And once again, the Pelicans bench only produced 15 stinking points off the bench because Elvin Gentry I just don't get it. Now, Jahlil Okafor didn't play. He played 10 minutes this game, produced 6 points, 6 rebounds. But at least Elvin Gentry is playing more than 3 people because that was the main thing we was hard on him for, is to play more than 3 people. He played 4 and we got the win. But like I said, man, the Pelicans continue to get the win. They climb up out of here. It's just, why are we doing this E'Twaun Moore thing at the small forward again? Why are you doing that? That's stupid, man. Anyway, moving on to the next matchup in the game, which was the Golden State matchup. Now, the Golden State matchup, of course, this was a nice game because the Warriors beat the Pelicans 147-140, and that's because the Pelicans were playing a Warriors game. They were trying to run with the Warriors and outshoot the Warriors from downtown. And for many parts of this game, the Pelicans were actually in control. At some points of this game, they were up by as much as 15 on Golden State, which is not really anything because Golden State is a team that can shoot the three-pointer. And if they can shoot the three-pointer from downtown, they can 2 or 3 three-pointers and they caught you. And that's what Steph Curry was doing, shooting the ball, double guarded. It's just one of those games where Curry just lit them up. He was one of those flagship Steph Curry games. Anthony Davis leaping out at you, and you're still hitting all nets. It's just nothing you can do about that. But the Pelicans, once again, they go down to this Golden State Warrior teams. They did play competitive. I got to give them credit for that because this was actually a pretty damn good game here. It was really a good game. They lost by 7 because they turned the ball over. And you know what? That's terrible throughout all of these games. That it's a ugly ugly thing that keeps reoccurring is the fact the Pelicans are horrible perimeter defenders. They consistently give up at least 12 wide open 3-point shots a game, and they have not fixed it. They look at the tape and just go right over it. And if the coach is saying, well, we are addressing it, the guys are just not doing it, then you need to get the coaches out of there, or you need to remove the guys that refuse to do what the scheme says, because every game the Pelicans surrender at least 12 wide open 3-point shots. Every game you watch the tape, it's the same mantra over and over again. But let's listen to what Coach L. Gentry thinks about how the team lost to the G State Warriors. Here we go.
Sorry. Coach, is it just one of those tough nights against the defending champs? Or do you look at the third quarter as the problem tonight? Where do you start?
I mean, I don't think you can look at any quarter. I thought we played, well, but when you play the champs, there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be ebb and flow in the game. And, we hit a spot where we had a couple of turnovers and, they made really tough shots. I mean, the shots that Steph made are not wide open shots. They're challenge shots. And he made them. And then, you have to give something. So, we forced Draymond to be a shooter, and he made them, and that's why they're a championship team. I don't think there was anything wrong with the way we played. Usually if you score 140 points and make 19 threes, you got a chance to win the game. And, we were right there and just didn't make a couple of plays down the stretch. We had 3 offensive rebounds that really hurt. But for the most part, we competed at a real high level, and, we weren't able to – it appears to me that every time we were up, 15, 16, some kind of way they generated, 2 threes or 3 threes. you know, and the league was disappearing too easily, really, you know. So, you know, I think it's a good gauge to see where you have to get to if you're going to be a championship team. But I thought we competed, and I was happy with most of the things we did. There's a couple of things, like I said, that may be a little bit concerning, but for the most part, I thought our guys competed.
Safe to say that Nico is back or close to 100%, Coach?
Well, I thought he played well tonight, and he needed one of those games. But you can see that we can use both of those guys. You know, I thought he played well, but I also thought Julius played well also. So you can see that rotation is going to be fine. I think it's okay. It's just, you know, I don't know the medical term for it, so I'll just leave it alone. Okay. But they're a great team. You know, they played last night and they come in here and, you know, I thought we did a good job of moving the basketball and getting out. We did a great job of managing our turnovers. It's just that you have to make the little plays down the stretch against a team like this, and we weren't able to do it, and they were, you know.
It came in a loss, but does this type of game make you feel like things are moving in the right direction for you guys?
Well, obviously you want to win every game, but I don't see any shame in playing the NBA champs, you know, to the point where, you know, a few plays here and that made the difference in the game. So I don't get anything out of a loss, but I do think that we competed at a real high level, and if we can do it against this team, we should be able to do it with anybody else in the league, really.
The Warriors' big men lead their team in assists with Durant and Green. Green had 14 tonight. Does that change your defensive philosophy when it's coming from the bigs?
No. I mean, that's what Draymond does. It's not anything new to anyone, you know. When he has 14 assists and it's not his career high.
All right, that's enough from El Gentry, peoples. We done heard enough. I understand the mindset of playing a team, the defending champions, to a standstill. That wasn't what this was. This was an interesting game. They should have won this game. I don't care how many points you're up. If you're about 15 points, that's what you're supposed to do. But what common sense tells you, and I don't know if the man has common sense or not, I'm just saying, from an objective thought process, if you're playing the Golden State Warriors, a team that scores fast, wouldn't you slow down your game knowing that they can score faster than you can because they can shoot the ball better than you can? Wouldn't you slow down as opposed to speed up to give them more opportunity to score? Just a little thought out there, man. But that's why they got great coaches and coaches that's not so good, because you have to adjust your philosophy. You can't implement the same philosophy for every game because people are going to match you at that. They play that style better than you ever could. So you have to adjust, and that's why we're losing these games like this, because we're not adjusting. Anyway, we'll finish breaking down this Golden State Warriors matchup. I'll have the preview for the Portland Trailblazers on the other side of the break, as well as other interviews from Nikolai Mirotic. Stick around.
ESPN or Fox. Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
Embrace Pet Insurance is more than just pet insurance. Embrace Pet Insurance promises to provide genuine support and certainty when your pet needs it the most. With personalized accident and illness policies, compassionate customer care, 24/7 access to veterinary professionals, flexible wellness plans, timely claims processing, and online customer portals, their values is what makes them Embrace. So, when selecting a pet insurance company as a partner in your pet's care, you deserve a company that has your pet's best interests at heart. Get top-rated and reviewed coverage for your pet today. Up to 90% back on bills at any vet, total protection, pet insurance and wellness, and dependable claims payments. Get the top-rated and reviewed coverage for your pet today. Go to EmbracePetInsurance.com. That's EmbracePetInsurance.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Get all the latest news and updates from your New Orleans Pelicans at the Pelicans Argue. The new and official Pelicans Daily Journal, covering everything Pelican. Attention, everyone. Get breakdown on games, free agent signings and potential moves. Unbiased opinions and straight up facts with statistical analysis from G Balance. Go to www.thesportsdaily.com/Pelicans-I-View.
Are you a boxing fan? Check out Ring Kings Boxing only on the PRO Media Network.
Do you need a domain name? How about a host for your website that can work with WordPress? Try Namecheap.com. They make registering, hosting, and managing domain names for yourself or others easy and affordable because the internet needs people. Namecheap is an ICANN accredited domain register and technology company founded in 2000. It's one of the fastest growing American companies according to the 2018 Inc. 5000, celebrating nearly 2 decades of providing unparalleled levels of service, security, and support. Namecheap has been steadfast in customer satisfaction with over 10 million domains under management. Namecheap is among the top domain registers and web providers in the world. They offer a full selection of popular and unique domains along with fully featured hosting packages, SSL security certificates, WhoisGuard privacy protections, and more, all at the lowest prices in the industry. So if you need a domain name or hosting or anything else, think Namecheap.com. That's right, Namecheap.com. Check the description section below for link.
Sports fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love, unique one-of-a-kind designs exclusively by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars shipped directly to your home. Join Fanatics Rewards for free to earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and for a limited time, get 20% off all orders. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
There's a lot of reasons to be a fan, but only NBAStore.com has all the gear.
Are you a Pelicans fan? Check out the Pelican postgame report on the PRO Media Network.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned in to Pelican postgame report on the PRO Media Network. Got our work cut out for us, man. 3 recaps in the same show, not to mention the fact that we got a preview of the Portland matchup tonight in Portland. A little side news and nuggets before we get back into the recapping of the Golden State Warriors match that happened the other night. There's rumors circulating according to Clutch Sports. Keith Smith revealed that the Pelicans are actively trying to acquire help. Well, of course, we reported that a couple of months ago, the fact that the Pelicans are making some type of headway in trying to reach out to find help. Now, you notice if you see guys' minutes being decreased or not playing at all, usually is a good rule of thumb to some to say that these are potential trading people or trade pieces that you don't want to get hurt in the game to spoil your chances of trying to acquire talent. Obviously, we know Solomon Hill is number one on the trade block, but who else is not playing? We've seen Tim Frazier didn't play tonight. Also, Ian Clark didn't play. And then, of course, Wesley Johnson, which there are rumors circulating around. Those 4 players as possible trade pieces. Don't be surprised if Etwan Morris not thrown in there either. Don't be surprised. But anyway, getting right back to the game. The Pelicans matchup, as I was saying before in the first segment of the show, you look at what happened in this Golden State matchup. Golden State outscored New Orleans on the fast break 45-20. 45-20. They outscored them by 25 fast break. And that means Elvin Gentry will love to tell you all day that, hey, man, we run, we create opportunities. This team runs better than you. They shoot better than you. They're a better defensive team than you. You're not going to outrun them. You're not going to outshoot the Golden State Warriors. Fast break battles. 45-20 on the fast break counter. Look at Steph Curry. He lit them up too. 9 of 17 from deep, hitting 7 3-pointers in just the third quarter, setting a new Pelicans opponent record for triples in a single frame. That was previous with Caron Butler. Golden State finished the game 24-49 from deep, while Orleans was 19 of 37. 43 combined 3-pointers in the game is a new NBA record, surpassing the mark of 41 set by Golden State and Sacramento. So they're on the bad side of a historical record. Doesn't matter, right? But holding a 39-34 lead early in the second quarter, Pelicans jumped out to a 17-point lead on a 12-0 run, taking the lead up to 51-34 with just under 9 minutes left in the half. Then trailing 61-45 with 5:40 remaining in the half, Golden State then took it back 17-4 on a 17-4 run, cutting the deficit to 3 with just under 3 minutes remaining in the period. Holding on to a 71-69 advantage in the second half, New Orleans pushed the lead back up to double digits, going 25-11 on a run to make it 96-80. That's 16 points. So twice they had the lead by more than 15 points in this game. What happened? How did we go back? Well, let's look at it. Then midway around the third quarter that happened. Then trailing 101-85 with 3:49 remaining. I said trailing 101-85 with less than 4 minutes in the time frame. Golden State then closed the quarter on a 25-8 run. It's just this. That's the kind of stuff that you look at and you say to yourself, how is it even possible? Why didn't, with less than 4 minutes remaining in the time frame, why didn't we just simply slow the game down and control the clock and suffocated their ability to get even more possessions, right? That makes sense to you? Chime in and put in the comment section if that makes sense to you, because I might be sitting here by myself talking foolishly to myself. I want to know if that makes sense to you out there, that you're up as much as they were. They were up 101-85 in the fourth quarter, and Golden State with it wasn't even 4 minutes, it was 3 minutes and 49 seconds to be precise. Then Golden State went on a 25-8 run, taking it to a 1-point lead in the quarter. Then with the game tied at 123, Golden State went on an 11-3 run, taking a 134-126 lead with 2:26 remaining to seal a win. Then New Orleans becomes the first team since 92 to score 140 points in regulation and not come out victorious. Now, that would make sense, right? How you score 140 points and still lose the game? You know how you lose the game? Because you let your opponent score 147 points. You know why you let them score 147 points? Because you're a pathetic perimeter defensive team. You allow at least 12 to 15 wide open 3-point shots a night and then turn around and say, well, we played a really good game. I'm proud of the fact that we hung with the Golden State Warriors. I'm not proud of the fact that we lost against the Golden State Warriors, man. Our idea is to beat the Golden State Warriors, not to say, well, we played well enough. We feel good that we even gave them a challenge. I feel good we even gave them a challenge. Man, what kind of talk is that? But anyway, let's see what Nikolai Mirotic really lit it up for the Pelicans. Let's hear what he has to say, because hell, Gentry ain't making no sense. Let's hear what Nico has to say about this whole thing.
I mean, after that game in LA, which we played great, I didn't have one of those nights. Then I felt comfortable and scoring 0 points. It was important for me to get back that confidence, and just to feel important, to be with the guys, offensively, defensively, and we started great. We had a great first half, especially defensively, playing for each other. Offensively, it was beautiful, sharing the ball, scoring a lot, and that third quarter, they got hot. Steph was making all those threes. It was just difficult. A lot of times it was two guys on the ball, but it didn't matter. So he was just making those shots. So, the bottom line, we did compete. We played great, and we were very close to win that game.
140 points.
That's Nikolai Mirotic. That's enough for Nico. He broke it down for us. Now, the thing I want to see is that, I remember some of these interviews were taken directly after the game. These guys didn't have an opportunity to look at tape. So their opinions of the game might not be exactly accurate. But from a standpoint of coaching, statistics do indicate and point a direction on what's happening here. So we're not totally lost. If you look at the team statistics for the Golden State matchup, the Pelicans shot 98 balls from the field, converting 47 of 98 for 48%. That is damn good. The problem is Golden State was 49 of 102 for 48, same 48%. The Pelicans were 19 of 37 from downtown for 51.4%. Golden State were better, 24 of 49 from downtown, hitting more three-pointers, of course, and didn't convert as many because of, they shot 49, hit 24. That's good for 49%. So that's almost 50% of three-pointers they're shooting. Tough to beat a team when they do that. Pelicans are right there, though. Free throws, they went to the line 33 times. Credit to the referees. They gave the Pelicans 33 attempts at the free throw line. They converted 27 of them for 82%. This is when it becomes skewed. The statistics look skewed. Pelicans had 51 total rebounds on the game. Golden State 65. That's 14 more rebounds, which represents more opportunities to score more possessions for the opposing team. Assists, the Pelicans had 3 more assists in them, which 36-33. The Golden State Warriors finished 8-6 on steals. They were tied 5-5 on blocks and 10 turnovers. The Pelicans, where I thumb them up, right, fam, that they did keep the turnovers down. Problem is the Pelicans allowed 19 points off of just 10 turnovers versus Golden State had 10 turnovers and allowed 11 points on. Why? Because the turnovers they're giving up, they're running down, they're hitting threes on them. Or they get an and one, which happened in this game as well. Big difference. Then the fast break points, like I told you about it before, 43-20 on the game. 43-20. That's 23 more fast break points than the team that's supposed to be a running team. Points in the paints, the Pelicans did get them there 54-38. But like I said before, if you're a team and your idea is to win, the best idea you can have is to go against the Golden State Warriors and try to outshoot them from downtown and try to outrun them, that's not going to happen, dude. Then when you get the ball and you control, like I just was mentioning the run in which the Pelicans were up by 16 late in the game and then allowed Golden State to come back. Golden State just didn't go down and just start taking their will. You're out there, your job is to slow them down. They didn't slow them down because the Pelicans' defensive schemes suck. Guys are lost. They run into one side of the field. Guys are vacating. They're not communicating, leaving players wide open. Guys are not getting around screens correctly. That's giving guys wide open shots. And it continually happened. It just happened in Golden State. This is happening all across every game that they play. It happened in the Minnesota matchup when they were getting wide open 3-point shots. It was happening in the Clipper matchup when they were getting wide open 3-point shot. It happens in every freaking matchup when they don't get pissed off enough to start playing defense. It's real. It's just repugnant. Anthony Davis finished with 30 points with 18 rebounds, by the way. Almost a triple-double. He had 7 assists in this game with 3 blocks. Man playing his heart and soul out. 23 points for Julius Randle, 7 rebounds. Etwan Moore continues to struggle. Actually, he got out of struggle. He had 17 points in this one. Elfrid Payton finished with 7 points and 12 assists. Nico off the bench was spectacular. 29 points in 29 minutes, 9 of 14, shooting 6 of 10 from downtown for Nico with 5 rebounds. Darius Miller, 32 minutes, too many minutes for Darius Miller. He only gave him 9 points. And of course, Elfrid, he went back to who he was. In this game, he didn't even play. He overplayed some of these guys, overplayed Darius Miller. And this in garbage time gave garbage minutes to Jahlil Okafor, Frank Jackson. Jahlil Okafor had 4 minutes and Frank Jackson had 5 minutes and none of them scored anything. He handicaps the team because he gets stuck in his head where he went back to the 2 lineup thinking he's going to beat that team that way. See, it's the foolishness that I'm talking about. You see the non-adjustability of a coach like this. That's why I want this man here, because he got flaws in his coaching game that he refuses to fix. There is absolutely no freaking way that it should have only 7 people that gave considerable minutes in this matchup. Frank Jackson and Jahlil Okafor has something to contribute in this matchup. They got a lousy 4 and 5 points apiece, 4 and 5 minutes apiece, no points. It stinks. It's garbage. Then you get on a post game and say, well, we hung with the Golden State Warriors. That's why they're the champs. No, you're a loser and on the wrong side of 140-147 game because you stink as a schemer. You stink and your defense sucks. And it's just it's going to have to get to a point where when are we going to change this staff? Whether we get him out of the way, firing Al Gentry, or firing his defensive coaches. Why are they giving fair and why are they allowed to make it? Why are they allowed to make it? Why game after game are we forced to watch this sucky, stink garbage defense that they play where they let people walk up They don't offensive rebound well, and when they run back to the other side of the court, they still giving up walk-up layups and wide open three-pointers because they're confused. Why are they? It's just crazy. If I was running this team, I would have fired Al Gentry and his entire staff. Why? And I'll tell you why. Because he is not the answer to take this team anyway. If you keep him here and don't present or give a coach that can teach them to play defense to at least knock off 5 points a game, then this team is going to mirror around mediocrity. You can't score 140 points a night or 130 or whatever it is, and then brag about it, and then turn around and you're giving up, you're scoring 130 and giving up 129 every night. It's stupid. 100. Think about that historical standpoint. They're the first team in the history of the NBA to score 140 points and lose. To put up 140 points and lose. And they had this game twice. They were up by over 15 points at 2 different intervals in this game. So don't tell me no junk about we hanging with the Golden State Warriors and they just started hitting threes. No, they just didn't start hitting threes. They were hitting wide open threes because you wasn't playing no defense. So, I mean, that's what it's coming down. It's just asinine when you look at it. But the next team that they have to set up to play against is the Portland Trail Blazers. And trust me, the Portland Trail Blazers is going to get up to play this team forever now, as long as there was anybody connected to that playoff run from last year. I remember the Pelicans ran them out the gym. Portland is good. They're 27-19, 19-7 at home. Pelicans stumbling, bumbling, falling through the floor. With a away record of 6-18, that is absolutely retarded. That is super crazy for that kind of foolishness to be happening and you to be that bad on the road. That bad on the road. But Damian Lillard is the top dog. They're averaging about 26 points a game. Nurkic is the top rebounder, about 10.5. And, of course, Damian Lillard leads the team with assists. No injuries for the Pelicans to report. Of course, Maurice Harkless is out, and Caleb Swanigan is listed as day-to-day. The Pelicans come into this thing averaging about 117.5, giving up 115 and a half a game, 48% from the field, 47 rebounds per game, 27 assists, 5.5 blocks, 7.5 steals, and 6-4 in the last 10, which is better than what they were. Portland, however, averaging 112 a game, giving up 110, 46% from the field, 48 rebounds, 22 assists a game, 5 blocks, and 6.5 steals. And they're 7-3 the last few contests, coming off a win over Cleveland, 129-112. Of course, the Pelicans did lose by 7 to Golden State. Now, they did lose to Sacramento and Denver. They mean the Trailblazers. So is it possible for the Pelicans to kind of sneak in here and get a win over the Trailblazers? The Trailblazers is going to keep their minds totally focused on the Pelicans. This is going to be a tough one. It's going to be a late game, 9:30 Central Time. So, you know, they lost to Golden State last night. That took a lot out of them. Do they have enough to play this game against the Trailblazers and at least come away splitting this horrible, this West Coast swing to get back home? That's the question. Do they have enough in their tanks to kind of gun up and man up and get through this thing? I would like to hope so, but let's hope that Elvin Gentry can deep more into his bench. Keep your fingers crossed, people. This thing is not over with. Anyway, thank y'all for listening to the Pelican Post-Game Report on the PRO Media Network. If you like the show, subscribe to our social media, support our sponsors, and go to patreon.com/the PRO Media Network to donate. Thank you for listening. Peace.
You're listening to the Pelicans Post-Game Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Are you a Pelicans fan? Check out the Pelican Post-Game Report on the PRO Media Network.
The Kleins family has been getting people to go nuts for old nuts since 1995. As legends have it, a number of the Kleins friends who heard the idea said you can go nuts trying to name a store like that. In the excitement, the Kleins thought their friends said old nuts instead of go nuts and proceeded to throw caution to the wind. Old Nuts has over 2,000 items, bulk and wholesale prices of a whole lot of your favorite fruits, Nuts and Confessions, a selection of gift baskets for any budget, any occasion, and provides one of the best and impressively rated shopping experiences on the web. Fact is, between their selection, service, speed, or their online presence in the virtual mirror retail experience, they have developed an enviable client base that's comprised of personal and professional customers who count on their remarkable range of gift baskets. Think of gift basket, think about Old Nuts. Check them out, oldnuts.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Tea is your escape. It's your opportunity to create a moment for stillness, for reflection, for yourself. It's your connection to a world of senses, flavors both exotic and familiar, energizing and relaxing. It's your retreat from an increasingly turbulent world. It's the perfect paradox of simplicity and complexity. Teabox.com connects tea to people, uniting the richest flavors of the finest teas with the curious, the cultivated, and the adventurous all over the world. The freshest tea you've ever tasted, from crop to cup. There's simply no simpler way to experience the wonderful complexity of tea. Teabox, packing up the freshness. Tea thrives on freshness, and so do they. Teabox temperature and humidity control facility ensure that tea is maintained. The teas themselves go into oblique bags with aluminum layers that protect them from excess moisture and light. With Teabox, shopping for fresh, loose leaf tea is easy because you make an informed purchase. You know exactly where your tea is coming from. So for the freshest teas in the world, check out Teabox.com. That's right, Teabox.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Are you a boxing fan? Check out Ring Kings Boxing only on the PRO Media Network.
Go to newfrog.com for all of your electronic gadget needs. Fast becoming #1 online seller of cell phone and accessories, consumer electronics, automobiles and motorcycles, home and garden items, 5D diamond painting crafts, electrical and tool supplies, computer and networking supplies, lights and lighting supplies, sports and travel items, toys and hobby supplies, apparel and accessory, mother and kid items, health and beauty items, and much, much more. Newfrog.com has up to 70% off on some products. And you can check out their weekly promotions for all the best deals. Remember, when thinking online electronics and gadgets, think New Frog. Newfrog.com. Check the link in the description section below.
In today's world, children are bombarded with negativity on television, online, and at school. Our kids need to have a positive outlook on life and the world around them. I want to share with you a valuable resource you can use to bring positivity into your child's life. It's the new book, 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad, G.J. Barabino. This is a simple guide loaded with wonderful and inspirational affirmations designed to uplift young people's spirits. This positive and powerful children affirmational is chock full and loaded with wonderful inspirational sayings that will lift your child's self-image to whole new levels through the awesome power of spoken word. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad, G.J. Barabino. Available on Amazon. Order a copy for yourself, your child's teachers, or anyone you know with children. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image. Order your copy today.
What's up, sports world? The PRO Media Network is on a mission to reach 10,000 subscribers. So besides our regular programs like the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, the Pelican Post Game Report, Rapid Fire TSC, and others, we will be expanding out and offering other content like movie, anime, and gaming reviews for your entertainment. So if you enjoy our content, please donate at our Patreon page. Also subscribe, comment, and share. And help the PRO Media Network reach 10,000 subs. Peace.